Hello everyone, Scott here with an industry update. I have the crazy dogs behind me. No, I'm filming, so decided to just fight and go crazy. So, industry update on Airbnb, and this is a little update to their systems, which is a facility for neighbours to directly get in touch with Airbnb to report host units, whether that's a party or a disturbance. So any host knows it's not the easiest thing to get through to Airbnb, but who cares about that as long as the neighbours can go in and snitch and cause trouble. So there's good and bad points to this update here. So again, I think it's a good thing for neighbours to be able to report to Airbnb a property when they don't know who the host is. So we manage properties, and if we had a managed unit, all the neighbours know we manage it. We get in touch proactively with them because if there are parties, we want to know about it. So good hosts definitely want to know if there's a disturbance or a party in their property. So that is a good thing, that if you're an owner and you don't know the neighbours, then you want the neighbours to inform you if there's something bad happening. As good hosts, we want to prevent these parties happening. We definitely want to stop them if the guests are bad. And if it's a longer term guest for a few days or a week, we want to stop that happening the next night. So this is a good thing. But we know, and we've discussed it with the team, neighbours will abuse this. If you're a host, then you'll know there are some neighbours there that there is no resolution. There's nothing you can do apart from shutting your unit and closing that business unit down, because nothing will ever make them happy. And this isn't a small bit of, this is a lot of neighbours. Most neighbours have a problem with short-term rental units next door, and they'll do anything to sabotage this. And if they can contact Airbnb for the smallest things, they will. So Airbnb are going to have a lot of tickets, a lot of things to go through, because neighbours will absolutely abuse this. They will be sending 3 or 4 a night. They'll be backdating this. I'm thinking of neighbours. They'll be back in 2020. There was this neighbour, and I want this to stop. So there's people contact us all the time. Neighbours are saying, you need to tell your guests they can't use the microwave. They're slamming the microwave door. They can't use it after 9 p.m. They can't park their cars there. They can't do this. So some neighbours are absolutely amazing, and they get in touch if there's issues, only when there's issues, and we do our best to make sure all our units don't cause disturbances, and if they tend to attract party guests, we shut them down or pass them over to self-management or another agent. It's just too much hassle to have party pads. So we don't want bad guests, we don't want parties and disturbances, but we do get a lot of calls. It's our biggest time constraint in the office. The biggest thing that takes up the most amount of time, and it's the hardest thing for the staff to deal with, is neighbours, because we need to be respectful, but sometimes you will never win. The only resolution for that neighbour is closing the unit down, and a tiny door banging or squeaking floorboards. Again, maybe that's one tiny thing that's exacerbated because it's a short-term rental unit, but it's still a tiny fraction of what they would have if there was a family living next door on a residential tenancy. So there are problems with this and good things. So number one, anything that allows us as hosts to know about bad guests and shut them down is definitely a good thing. The bad things is this will be abused by neighbours, unrealistic neighbours, crazy neighbours, neighbours who would never accept anything else apart from that business being closed totally. And secondly, Airbnb could get these spurious reports, and could, if they get 3 reports in a row, for example, which might not be 100% accurate, could shut units down. So you should have seen the news as a host that Airbnb are having all this anti-guest, anti-party policy and changing their systems. We don't know how it will work, but they could get 3 reports and then say, we're shutting your listing down. Airbnb isn't about making you guys money. Airbnb is about maximising shareholder return. So it's about their PR, it's about their business. It's not to provide accommodation for guests or provide a platform for you to make money. It's simply, as a public company, to maximise shareholder value and protect their reputation is one way of doing that. So they don't care about losing your unit to stay out of the press. So this is maybe one unintended side effect of this, is that good hosts, businesses get sabotaged by people deliberately trying to shut it down. So another thing Airbnb is doing that would cause them a lot of work, that is detrimental to hosts, but hopefully there's some positives to this. This is in news articles. Let me share it. So this is in news articles everywhere saying how amazing Airbnb are doing. Oh, well, Airbnb is so amazing for doing this. They're doing everything they can. They don't want antisocial behaviour. They're an amazing company. And if you read this article, it's all praise for Airbnb. However, if we go to the top, turns out that it's sponsored by Airbnb. So essentially that they are paid shills for Airbnb. They get money. So when you read these articles about how amazing these initiatives are, it's why I wanted to break this down to say, well, wait a minute, it's Airbnb. It's a marketing. It's not a news article. It's Airbnb paying for positive press coverage. So that's why I wanted to make this video, to say don't just accept these things as another amazing initiative from the self-righteous Airbnb, amazing virtuous company. There is other issues behind the scenes there that might be negative for you as hosts. So always read between the lines, the scenes, get the right thing, and have a little look at this. And if there are any neighbours that you have that you think, oh dear, if they get that number, they'll be doing it, then you definitely need to reach out, build bridges, communicate with them, and get them contacting you direct rather than involving Airbnb, because they should come to you direct and save the hassle of Airbnb being involved.